Hi, I'm Dominic,
I'm Connor.
and we just watched The Book of Eli, January 2010. I thought it was pretty fantastic.
It was okay.
The premise of the movie, spoiler free of course, is that the main character, Denzel Washington, not playing Denzel Washington, playing Eli, is traveling west because he has to, and that he has extraordinary abilities.
He believes he has to. It's his personal goal.
His personal goal is to go west.
And the mystery is why and what is this book?
Yeah.
Which they reveal like half an hour in.
There is a big twist, however.
There are a couple twists. There's the twist with what the book is, which is obvious. They don't try
I don't
to
even
hide
think that's really a twist. I didn't count it as a twist.
I counted it because I didn't expect that to be the focus of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I was more than a little surprised. The second twist is huge, and that was much worse. That's probably one of my least favorite parts in the movie.
I really liked
Second
it,
twist.
but I did call it.
You called it like 2 seconds before it happened, which was great.
I was like, this is what's going to happen, and then it happened, and Connor looked mad.
We should probably go into spoilers in this movie. It's pretty important that we explain our opinions on the twist, because it's really fun, but not yet.
So first, we're going to talk about the stuff that's spoiler-free, like setting, mostly.
The main actors,
cinematography, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, we can delve into the plot, and we'll make sure to have a little spoiler warning.
Yep.
All right, so the movie looked beautiful. That's undisputable.
It's just a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It looks great. It's not the best set, but the cinematography is perfect. It's literally like textbook. It's amazing.
Yeah, there was never a time where they did a camera shot and I was like, that looks stupid.
Yeah,
and that happens a lot.
Especially considering this is like an action movie. There are like 5 or 6 fight scenes. And the cinematography is just perfect. You know exactly what's going on. You can follow it wonderfully. It's amazing.
Now, there are some almost every action scene is really, really corny and goofy.
It's gratuitously violent, but not to the point where it's gross.
And anytime it would be, it shows the aftermath. Like one time, there's a fight, and the camera just pans up, and then it comes back down, and you see him dead. But anytime where it doesn't, a dude's hand will fly off, or a machete will fly into someone, or an arrow will go through a guy's crotch. It was really funny.
It made us laugh a lot, which is really important in movies like this, is to have that
comic relief. And it never had comedic relief through a character, which I really like, because comedic relief characters are extremely played out.
Oh yeah, I hate that. Yeah, they really didn't have that. I'm now thinking about that.
It had a lot of really well subtle world building. Like, at the very beginning, you see him killing a cat so that he can eat it later. And then you see him give a rat some food, and you're like, why would he give a rat food if he had to kill a cat to eat? But then the character, just through like little motions and talking to the rat, explains that he wants him to come back so he has something to eat the next morning.
Yeah, pretty much every question you might have about the world is answered, except for how the world came that way.
It implies nuke.
Yeah, but it
also
there's
never
implies
radiation.
That there's like an aftermath of the war, and they just say the war. They don't say anything else. They don't say any countries involved.
A big war happened.
They're clearly in America. Like
they're in the United States.
Yeah, of course, North America. But there's no like explanation of what the war was. I think that's fine. There's a slight thing that bothered me. We'll get into with spoilers, but
I would say it probably takes place in either Western Nevada or Eastern California.
It was filmed in New Mexico, so yeah.
The only reason I say California is because it had a big city and then it had a coast in one part at the very end.
It was literally Alcatraz. They said it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
So you're right. You did it.
I must have been researching.
But yeah, the actors, big name actors, Denzel Washington, Mila Kunis, Gary Oldman, all fantastic. Well, Mila Kunis is okay, but the others are fantastic. I love Gary Oldman.
I really like Denzel Washington, and I found out some stuff about him that we'll get into later because it kind of pertains to spoilers in the movie.
Yeah, Denzel Washington, his performance is pretty subtle. I like it. It's a functional main character.
Yeah. The sidekick, Mila, isn't a sidekick until about halfway, so she doesn't get irritating at any point. But I feel like if she was there the entire movie, she might have. So props to the writers to knowing when to add her in.
Yeah, if she was there the whole movie, I would hate her. But right now, I just kind of dislike her.
I don't even really dislike her.
And Gary Oldman's just amazing. There's no argument. He's so good.
He did good in what he did. I've never seen anything else with him.
Yeah, I'm totally biased because of Liam the Professional, but I still love him as an actor. He's pretty kind of goofy, but in this movie he was pretty grim.
At first, I thought he was what's his name?
You thought he was Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, the guy. If you don't know who Bryan Cranston is, he's the guy who played the dad in Malcolm in the Middle
and the lead in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, not Jesse. Walter.
White.
Walter Cronkite.
That's not who that is.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Walter Cronkite.
No, I think you're missing it.
I think you're missing it.
None of the other actors are in the movie long enough to make a difference, like in the scenes they're in.
Except for one other bad guy.
Yeah, but he's pretty like strong, silent type.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't dislike.
Oh, it's fine. The music, there's only one song that I remember, and they play it in the beginning and at the very end. It's good. It's a kind of a haunting song. I like it.
I liked it a lot too. In fact, I even thought to myself, I'm gonna need to find this song and add it to my Spotify playlist.
It's good.
And we're not paid to advertise Spotify. We just like it that much.
We just both use Spotify.
Yeah. And we're not paid to say that, so you know it's good.
No one would pay us.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, generally directing, cinematography, amazing. Visuals, pretty good. Like the sets are okay. I don't love them. Some of them pretty obviously CG. There's a couple establishing shots at the beginning where I'm just like, that looks kind of ugly.
There was one part where Connor was doing some research on the actors, and they're in this like rock formation, and it just looked beautiful. I think it was a mix of CG and physical props.
Yeah, because a lot of the things they do are too large to realistically be practical effects. Mm-hmm. And I totally understand that, but some of them just look off.
See, I don't dislike CG like a lot of people do. In fact, I like it. I think it can do a lot of things. Like in Star Wars Rogue One, when they CG'd Princess Leia, it looked phenomenal. And so I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I think you got to use it liberally. Well, don't overuse CGI. This movie doesn't. It's just sometimes it looks kind of ugly. They don't ever use it on people or any objects or animals. They just use it on sets, which is fine.
Yeah. And they never use it to an extent where it was obviously filmed in front of a green screen, and they're just sitting there.
Oh, yeah, it's never that bad.
No. There was one part in the movie, and this is just a little thing, where they come across these two old people, and they're named George and Martha.
Oh, no.
And don't oh no me.
They're comedic relief. They are the comedic relief characters.
They are
that we found them.
This movie's now bad. No, I'm kidding. But there's some old people named George and Martha, and no one will ever tell me it is not an Easter egg or not a reference to George and Marcia Washington, the founding father and mother of this country.
The geography is a little off, but otherwise I can't argue with you. It's probably intentional.
I just don't know how you wouldn't intentionally name someone George and Martha and not expect it to be compared to the president and his wife.
I think we should probably start getting into the story now.
Alright, so we're going to do a big spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear it, skip to the end. If you do want to hear it, then stick around. Alright, so there are two big twists. The first twist is that the book is the Bible. The second twist is that Eli is blind, and the Bible's in Braille.
The first one is heavily implied. It's not much of a twist, but it surprised me because I didn't know this was going to be very religious. But it really sets the tone for the rest of the movie, because the theme of the movie is that I guess people see religion differently. Some people see it as like a weapon, and some people see it as like the backbone of society. Which I think I think the biggest plot hole that is just information they leave out is how there's only like one Bible left in existence. They say at one point after the war they burned all the Bibles, but like, why? How? What would cause that? If it's just nothing they ever touch on again or explain, like why every single Bible except one random Braille one was burned. And now there's no military influence at all anymore. I really don't like that. It doesn't sit well with me. That something like that is so unexplained. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Within the real Bible, it says that there will be a war, that there will be a mark, and I'm not a preacher. I'm just someone who reads it and lives by it. So the abridged version is that there's going to be a beast who marks the people remaining after the rapture. And I'm getting really close to dangerous territory because I don't know everything, and I'm sure someone out there will somehow say that I'm wrong. But that pretty much the new world order is going to be very, very anti all religion, is what it implies, but I'm assuming all religion. And to me, with little things they did, like checking everyone's hands to look for a mark, which is implied, the way people acted and how almost everyone was illiterate, except for old people, felt like they were trying to almost go for a revelation type event. So to me, it's not shocking that there was a big burning of Bibles. And the movie almost kind of explains that the reason that one was able to stay is because that's how God willed it to be. Because this movie doesn't ever debate that there's a God. Like, for him to do the stuff he does, there has to be.
Mm-hmm.
It says that God talks to him, or through a messenger talks to him. And it's pretty obvious when, like, people shoot at him and the bullets just fly past.
Yeah.
That there is definitely a spiritual influence.
That's basically the main reason why I don't like the plot of this movie, because it's essentially Eli is right, and everyone else who opposes him is going to face the wrath of God. And that's the movie. He's always going. He has literal religious plot armor. And I totally see it from, I guess, an outsider's perspective. I know very little about the Bible, but it just falls so flat as a movie. I can totally understand the importance to that, to the religious community who will understand the references and the plot. But to me, it's just boring. It's just not interesting.
Now, I can say I talked to a lot of people before I watched this movie, because when it's my turn to pick the movie, and this one was my pick, I do a lot of research into it because I don't want to waste my time with something I won't enjoy. And there are a couple people I talked to. I talked to my father, I talked to my mother, I talked to some of my other friends, I talked to Connor, and I look on the internet. And the general consensus of this movie is that it's alright. Even from people who aren't religious, they say it was alright. They say there were good parts and bad parts. But my father, who is extremely religious like I am, loved it. And I actually heard about this movie because my youth pastor recommended it. My youth pastor loved this movie as well. Everyone who I've talked to, who I know has the same religious ideology as me, really enjoys it. But I can't speak for the entire world because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that kind of proves my point a little bit.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
in fact,
yeah,
I'm saying I can understand why you've come to that conclusion.
I mean, I can't say it wasn't an enjoyable movie, even from my perspective. The action is good fun to watch.
It's so silly.
And
He chops off a guy's hand and it just falls. Like, there's no.
And that's one of the first scenes.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Like,
but,
they set up a trap, and first he calls him smelly. He goes, the best part about highwaymen is that you can smell them from miles away.
No, the best part about no soap, because no one has soap because it's post-apocalyptic.
It's actually kind of a plot point when this woman gets shampoo.
Yeah. Who's also blind, of course. Apparently she was blind the whole time.
She was blind from birth.
That's irrelevant. That's besides the point.
It's actually one plot point that's kind of important. Everyone wears sunglasses, and it's kind of implied that, like, because...
That's why no one could tell he was blind. Oh my god, I'm an idiot.
You just got that?
I just got that. That's terrible.
Everyone wears sunglasses because, they're always outside in an Old West type thing. and it's really comfortable. But it also kind of implies that when the big event happened, it A, blinded a lot of people, B, killed and destroyed a lot of places.
They call the event the Flash.
Yeah.
Ironically.
The Flashpoint. This is actually DC's Earth 10. This is the new DC comic. And I'm glad that...
I could see that happening.
I'm glad that out of the 8 people who listened to this, 2 of them got my reference.
And 4 of those people are robots.
Oh yeah, we get so many it's hilarious. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it was kind of implied that like if you didn't shield your eyes, you were liable to go blind.
Yeah, and pretty much everyone wears sunglasses, and they look like designer sunglasses,
Yes.
which bothers me.
Yeah, like there was one product placement that I can remember. In the very beginning when he's listening to the music, he's using Beat headphones.
Oh, he's also using a really old iPod, but I think they cover up the logo, so
it looked like a generic iPod too. It didn't look like an
It looked like an iPod Classic or something. Oh. Those things are great.
It looked like a wave player.
Yeah, the Beat earbuds were so out of place.
Yeah, it was so
And they use them like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
No other product placement. This is not a movie that needs product placement. It's... From all that we're saying about the serious plot and stuff, there are some really goofy moments, some really ridiculous scenes. The whole scene with the old people is hilarious. Well, the old man, they're being assaulted by like the town.
You mean George Washington?
George Washington is about to be assaulted by the townspeople, and he's just like, "We got weapons!" And he pulls the cushion off his couch, and there's just like a giant weapons storage from like flipping army surplus. I don't even know.
Armies are us.
There are like so many assault rifles in that.
If you're familiar with Fallout, it reminded me a lot of Fallout New Vegas, because this is where kind of like where New Vegas takes place. Except for Fallout 1 and 2, which takes place... Okay. So a lot of it takes place near where Fallout 1 and 2, near Alcatraz.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I'm not a Fallout fan, but I mean, post-apocalyptic is a pretty common genre, I would say.
That was actually a lot of criticism this movie got. Can you look at movies that came out in 2009?
Yeah, sure. Just keep on talking while I do it.
So a big criticism that I saw was actually that this was another post-apocalyptic movie, and the only post-apocalyptic movies I can really think of are, you might want to do 2009 because this came out early 2010.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Was that a lot of them were post-apocalyptic. District 9. District 9 was. So Ice
Age.
I can't think of a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff that came out around that time because I was younger. I know that Mad Max has been around since the 80s, and Fallout is a thing, but other than that, I can't think of much post-apocalyptic media. Was Terminator Salvation?
I don't think. Maybe. I've never seen a Terminator.
I've never seen a Terminator movie either.
Maybe we should do that for this. What were 2010? Oh, geez, this website looks terrible. This is really 2010. I don't recognize any of these movies.
Yeah, so I don't see too many. Maybe it's just...
Yeah, I think this seems like it was before the whole
it seems like this almost kicked it off. So I wonder if a lot of those Critic and Birdemic came out. That's the only post-apocalyptic movie you need.
No, that is the apocalypse.
It is the Demic, the Birdemic. Is
that John Ralphio?
Is that John Ralphio?
I don't think that's John Ralphio.
I don't know. But anyways, my point was, I think a lot of the criticisms are very retrospective.
Yeah, they're definitely like in the moment. There might have been some bad like marketing decisions and advertising decisions, but I don't know.
Yeah, we actually refuse to watch trailers.
I refuse to watch trailers. I hate trailers. They feel like so spoiler heavy to me.
Yeah, so we don't really watch them before we do a movie. We just do stuff based on...
Synopses?
Yeah, based on synopses and what other people have told us.
Yeah, I like Rotten Tomatoes. I know some people think the opinion of the Rotten Tomatoes are pretty bad. A lot of people don't trust critics and stuff, but I like getting an opinion, even if it is poorly founded or founded in bias. Because like you look at the Rotten Tomatoes of a movie and you're just like, oh, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest has like 100%. I hate that movie. And sometimes you just can't judge it. You can't go in expecting what the critics say.
Yeah. I know that there are a lot of stuff like that. A lot of people really, really like the To Kill a Mockingbird movie, and I thought a lot about it after watching and reading the book. And I think that if you watch the movie, you'd be like, pretty good movie, good story. But if you read the book, you'd be like, that was awful.
Oh yeah.
Harry Potter's kind of the same way, except that the Harry Potter movies were good.
The Harry Potter movies are at least well acted and amazingly designed.
Yeah.
The visuals in the Harry Potter movies are great.
Actually,
the story of the whole series is just kind of flimsy.
Trivia about Dominic: the movies came out around my birthday every year from when I was born to when I turned, I don't know, maybe like 13. So I would go to see them for my birthday every year once I caught up.
That's really cool.
That was just something I did.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything like that, but I was a huge Harry Potter fan, so.
I think everyone was.
Wow, 2010 was not a good year for movies.
Shrek 4 came out. And Nanny McPhee returns.
That's not. I like Shrek 4.
That's disgusting.
Centurion sucked.
Legion sucked. Ooh, didn't I Am Legend come out in 2000?
That would be a very apt movie to compare Book of Eli to.
I Am Legend was really good. I enjoyed it a lot, but
I'm not a huge fan.
That's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of drifted out, but that's fine.
Yeah, we drifted out a lot.
We should talk a little bit more about the spoilers. I was bothered by the whole plot twist that he was blind the whole time. Oh, Night and Day, that was good. Dang it. I was bothered by that plot twist, but now that I know that the sunglasses were there so no one could tell, that makes me feel a little bit better. Because it perfectly fits in with the... Oh, Scott Pilgrim. Dang it.
Oh, Kick-Ass came out that year.
Going over good movies.
Kick-Ass came out that year. I liked Kick-Ass. Anyways, I am on the opposite side of the spectrum. I think that it's really, really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, now that I realize the whole sunglasses thing, I have a much better opinion of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know we keep getting off topic, but as I'm looking through movies that came out in 2010, the same like week block, a movie called Hatchet came out, and then Hatchet 2.
I wonder if they're any relation. Week. Maybe it's like Troll and Troll 2. The second one is indie and has no relation. Ooh, Black Swan.
I never saw that.
The Narnia movie? That was 2010, or was that Prince Caspian?
Where?
Scroll up. Is that not Narnia?
No, that's not.
Which one is that? Oh yeah, that's not the first one.
It might just be 3D.
Oh, 3? They made a third Narnia?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I only knew they made the first one in Prince Caspian.
Yeah, they made a lot of Narnia movies. They're written by C.S. Lewis, great author.
He's Christian.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
He's like if you want a Christian author, you've got two choices. Paul, who wrote the Bible, and C.S. Lewis. And that's it.
I think Tolkien was also Christian.
Heck yeah, we got 3.
I'm sure you could find more.
Yeah, you could find a ton. But C.S. Lewis is just like as outspoken as Paul.
Oh, definitely. I've even heard things, and I don't even look for that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Before we sign off, I would like to give this movie a solid 8.5. I think it deserved it.
I think I would give it like a 6 out of 10. When I first watched it, I would give it a 5 out of 10. But now that I've thought about it a lot more, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It was entertaining.
Thanks for listening. This is Zoom Reviews. On a Tangent, signing off.